My name's Ken Pearson. I'm with Rock County Progressives, I think. Everybody here. And we are a nonpartisan group. And I want to make sure that everybody knows we're going to be out of here, or to close down the discussion about 7:45. And so we're going to let each one of the candidates talk for 10 minutes or so. And then we'll open to question and answer, see how we got a small crowd, maybe we won't take all night. These are the candidates for Wisconsin Attorney General. The primary is August 12th, and the election is November 4th. We also have another Democratic candidate, that's Susan Happ. She's from Jefferson County. We asked her to come, but she already had I think she was a pretty late announcee, and she already had other commitments, so she's not going to be here. But we do have Ismael Ozanne and John Richards here. Ismael's going to go first, so I'm going to introduce him. He's the district attorney for Dane County. He was appointed by Governor Doyle in 2010. He's a Madison native, grew up in Madison area. And he's the guy that filed the open meetings lawsuit against the legislative leaders over Act 10 when they supposedly broke the law and didn't give enough prior notice that they were having a meeting. So we're going to let him talk, tell us about his candidacy. So welcome to Ismael.
Thanks for having me. I am Ismael Ozanne. I am the Dane County District Attorney, and I want to be your next Attorney General. I want to be your next Attorney General because I know the profound impact that the Attorney General's office has on our lives, our families, and our communities. I've been a prosecutor for 13 years. I've prosecuted hundreds of cases from first-time drunk driving to first-degree intentional homicide and everything in between. I'm the only candidate, Republican or Democrat, in this race that has experience heading a statewide agency. I was Deputy Secretary at the Department of Corrections, so I was in charge at that time of the day-to-day operations of the Wisconsin prison system. 10,000 employees and a budget of $1.2 billion at that time. And we can't kid ourselves. Experience matters. The Department of Justice is a statewide agency. 80 to 90 sworn law enforcement, the ability to have 92 assistant attorney generals covering 3 crime labs, Wausau, Milwaukee, and Madison. The Attorney General's office is one of the largest law firms in the state, and the Attorney General is the people's attorney. Now, as Dane County District Attorney, I work closely with law enforcement to be tough and smart on crime. In Dane County, I've increased our diversion programs, our counselors from 5 to 7. One specifically to deal with opiate-addicted offenders, one working on intentional physical abuse of children. We are creating a youthful offender community court in Dane County for 17 to 25-year-olds where law enforcement can refer low-level offenders, misdemeanor offenders to the community court, allowing young people the ability to earn their way back to entering adulthood without a criminal conviction. If they accept responsibility, are held accountable, get connected to education or training opportunities or counseling, there's no need for a formal criminal charge. There is no need for an entry on CCAP. Now, I believe public safety is job number 1 for the Attorney General, and we're facing some of the toughest challenges law enforcement has seen to date. Heroin and opiate abuse, increased severity with domestic violence, internet predators, human trafficking, and child abuse and neglect. That said, these issues are not theory for me. Dealing with these issues is what I do every single day when I go to work. So I know what it takes to keep a community safe. Our opiate-addicted counselor for the opiate-addicted offenders is working on a risk assessment tool. We cannot see one in the state or in the country right now that is specific to opiate-addicted offenders. We hope to have that developed so that we can share it with the state, as well as share it with anyone else that would like to use it. We are also in Dane County. I partnered with the City of Madison Police Department with a focused deterrence model for violent offenders. We have selected the offenders, and we are partnering with the City of Madison, the Sheriff, the U.S. Attorney's Office, so basically federal to local law enforcement. And we are notifying these offenders. We've notified 64 to date that we will not tolerate any more violent offenses from them. And if they commit another violent offense, we will prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law and ask for the maximum penalty. Now that said, that is not the power of the program. The power of the program is that we have in that same notification just as many community providers, community members standing up with us saying to these offenders, we will not tolerate any more violent offenses from them. But we are here to help you. We're here to help you find stable housing. We're here to help you get training. We're here to help you with if you need mental health counseling. Whatever it is you believe you need to get reconnected to the community, to stop the violent offenses, they are there to help with. That is the power of the program. The community and law enforcement being proactive to focus community resources and criminal justice resources on violent offenders, hopefully to get them to a place of rehabilitation. But if not, to prosecute them to the fullest and to make sure that they are put in a place where they will no longer victimize any new victims or re-victimize the ones that they may have already had. The Attorney General must do more though. The Attorney General must make sure that women have the ability to make their own health care decisions. The Attorney General must stop voter suppression. The Attorney General must vigorously enforce our environmental laws. We need to protect our clean air and clean water. And the Attorney General must protect our consumers and our seniors. Now, I am a lifelong resident of Dane County, but I'm also a sixth-generation Wisconsinite. My grandparents, we can trace Ozanne's back to 1842. My grandparents came from Neenah, and my grandma, who's in her 90s, still lives just outside of Two Rivers, or Trivers, if you're from there. My grandfather, he taught high school in Wisconsin and high school in Colorado. And in Colorado, we organized the Colorado Teachers Union. On his way back, he helped organize the Retail Clerks Union. And when he got back to Wisconsin, he headed the School for Workers at the UW and wrote books on Wisconsin labor history. My father was also a teacher. He taught at Tuskegee University and high school in Madison for a time. And my mom is still currently a teacher, teaching reading at James C. Wright Middle School in Madison. But she was also one of the first women welders at Kuffer Iron Works in Madison. So she was an iron worker. And she marched for civil rights in the 60s. She was a member of SNCC. And she actually was a major part in the civil rights memorabilia and documentation that we currently have in our state historical society. She worked to collect that back in the 60s. So my family's taught me the importance of justice, the power of the law, the importance of family and community, and the value of being a public servant, which I have been my entire career. So, it's important to note here that the other side is playing for keeps. And this is going to be a long, hard battle. Some know me for my challenge to Act 10. And I think that's the biggest difference between our current Attorney General, J.B. Van Hollen, and myself. He could have, as Attorney General, addressed the open meetings law violation, but he chose not to. I didn't blink. We took our challenge straight to the Supreme Court. It is important to know that I'm the only candidate in this race that has a proven track record of standing up for all the citizens of the state of Wisconsin. That Act 10 challenge was about protecting our right as citizens to access our own government. It was about making sure those who write the laws are also accountable to those laws. And we can't kid ourselves. Even if we win this election, this fight is not going to be over. It's going to be a long, hard battle. I've been here at the beginning, I will be here in the middle, and I will be here, hopefully at the end, as your Attorney General. So, what I believe is that the citizens of Wisconsin expect and deserve their Attorney General to be a frontline prosecutor. I am solidly planted as being a frontline prosecutor, as well as having a proven track record of standing up for our shared values. That is what I want to bring to the Office of the Attorney General, and that's why I want to be your next Attorney General. And I will need your support on August 12th. Thank you.